Oh, I see
Tuesday
why.
night.
Wait.
Oh, hold on.
I hear you.
We're live. Okay, he hears us. Here we
Rodney
go.
can hear us.
We are live Tuesday night here in Philadelphia. This Saturday night, we have a big night of boxing at the 2300 Arena, a big 9-bout card promoted by RDR Promotions. Rodney Rice, our main event fighter. Joey Dawejko is here. He'll be taking on Mighty Joe Jones in our main event. Rodney Rice, the promoter. We have a big 9-bout card. Go over it really quick.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna start from the bottom to the top, Mark. I'm really excited about this card, man. We really have some special guys on here, as usual. We have opening it up. We have a guy named Jaden Irvin. He's he's from Pennsylvania. He's getting his start in boxing, and then I'm really excited about another young fighter coming up in Philadelphia. He's from Bosie's Gym. His name is Tamir Smalls, trained by his dad, Lawrence Smalls. He's a real exciting power punching young man who's from that same school as Boots Ennis. So I seen him fight over in Delaware before, and I was really I was kind of mesmerized by the young man's skills to be so young and to be able to move and have the smarts he has in the ring. So I'm excited about that. Coming from the bottom up, we have another exciting young man that's 5-0 from out of Schuler's Gym. His name is Rasheen Brown. You know, he's born into this thing. He went to the Nationals a couple of times. I don't know if he won any, but he's the nephew of Buster Custis, who runs Schuler's Gym. And then we have another exciting young man who's very extravagant in the ring. He's not from Philly. He's from New York. His name is Matthew Gonzalez. He has a fast hand, fast foot young man who comes to entertain. Then we have one of my favorites out of my gym in Marion Anderson in South Philly. We got Benjamin Sinekin. You know, he's a very action-packed young man. You don't want to blink because this kid he doesn't stop punching. You know what I mean? So I'm very excited about that. Then we get into some really good matchups. One between Mike Hilton and Twan Smith, some cruiserweights. Mike Hilton is out of Trenton. He's 10-0, and he's going to fight a very game fighter in Twan Smith, whose record is very deceiving. This is one to watch right here. And then you have Nahir Albright, who's RDR's own. He's going to be taking on a young man by the name of Dante Cox. Dante Cox is 6-1, and he's not coming to lay down. You know, he's another extravagant fighter, a power puncher. He has he considers himself a winner. He has a couple of sponsors out there in Maryland, and he's going to come down here and he's coming for the win. And he's coming for the win. So, but I'm expecting Nahir Albright not to disappoint and to get him out of there. I don't know when, but I'm expecting Nahir to get him out of there. That brings us to the main event.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to the main event. We have a young man coming out of Maryland named Joe Jones. Okay, he's a tall, lanky heavyweight to a cruiser who has long arms, fast hands, and is a good fighter. But he's going up against a tough game veteran. He's cagey and can punch. You know, has everything a fighter's supposed to have. Been everywhere in the ring. Been in there with everybody. And he's from Philly, so he's Philly tough. So you got the toughness, the caginess, the boxing, the inside, the punching. You know what I mean? So when you look at this matchup, you see David and Goliath almost, but you have to, when you look at Joey, one thing about Joey Dawejko, he has his speed is deceiving, and his height and reach is deceiving as well. So I'm looking for this to really excite the crowd at the end of the night.
And there's still a few tickets left, right?
A few, but we did all. I think we did pretty good already. We're not really worrying about selling any more tickets. We want to entertain the crowd that we got right now, especially with COVID. We don't mind it being a little extra room in there. So we're at about 10 or 15% right now. We're going to stay there. You know, we want to keep things safe for everybody that comes out.
Well, we got Joey Dawejko here on the line. Joey, we're a few days away from this fight. You've been out of the ring for just over a year. I believe it was March 7th of last year was your last fight.
Yeah.
So about 13 months out of the ring. How's everything going?
It's good. It's good. Training went well. I'm excited to be back in the ring, especially in Philadelphia in front of my people. You know what I mean? I appreciate Rodney giving me the opportunity, and my promoter Greg Cohen. It's just gonna be a good night. Looking forward to it.
Talk about Joe Jones. I mean, obviously you've been in the ring with some real big names in the heavyweight division, and now you're taking on a guy named Joe Jones. He's 11-3, a little bit unheralded, but he's definitely coming to win on Saturday night.
Yeah, I mean, I expect him to come and try and beat me. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens. Like you said, I've been in the ring with a lot of people. I'm experienced. I know he's gonna come in and try to beat me, so I'm ready to put on a good performance for everybody that comes out and that's watching. So see what happens.
Do you feel any extra added pressure? Fighting at home. I mean, we don't put odds on these things, but it's a fight. On paper, it looks like you're expected to win. Do you have any extra pressure when you go in the ring in a fight like this?
No, it's not. It's not any extra pressure. I'm excited about it because it's home. You know what I mean? I haven't fought here in a while, so it's good to be back home and fighting, especially after what everybody's dealing with too. It's a good night out. It's a fun night. You know what I mean? So it's there's no pressure. It's just this is my job. You know what I mean? I don't feel pressure at all.
Hey, Rodney, you have any questions for Joey?
Hey, Joey.
Yo.
I want to ask you, how do you? You have anything you can tell me about your game plan to get? Are you planning on waiting for him to come to you? You planning on going to get him? You planning on just letting the fight come, or you have no plan?
So my game plan is always adapt to the fight. You know what I mean? Not many people can go in and say, "All right, this is what I'm going to do." Stick to it. You always have to adapt to a fight. You know what I mean? So, depending on how he comes out, if he wants to get cracked real quick, then we'll get cracked real quick, and then see how the fight plays out. You know what I mean? I'm good at adapting to how the fight is going, how it's moving. You know what I mean? So there's not really necessarily a game plan. It's just I'm ready to fight.
Rodney, I know you went through the card before, talking about all the fights and everything. Beside the main event, is there a fight that maybe was going to stick out under the radar, in your opinion?
There's a couple here. I'm looking at Benny Sinekin and a forward. What's his name? A forward King.
King, yes.
Yeah, that's going to be a banger. Forward King has 3 fights. He lost 1. And he considers himself, a future champion, and Benny the same. So that no one came to lose there. But one of my favorites, I'm really looking for it. It's not just because I have him signed, but I think Nahir Albright is going to, he's either going to sink or swim this time, because he has a guy that considers himself a future champion, and what's his name? Dante Cox. Dante Cox is bringing up his live sponsorship, and he's coming with all of them, and he feels as though this fight is for him. He feels like he's the hometown guy. But I've seen Nahir work really hard. He has some serious skills, and everybody hasn't seen him yet. But when they do when this kid does get to have someone who pushes him to the point where he has to display his skills, it's going to be a sight to see. So I'm really looking forward to that. It's going to let me know a lot.
A couple people here watching us tonight. Joey Huron says, look out for Tamir Smalls. Do you want to comment on Tamir, Rodney?
Like I said, Tamir Smalls, man, to be such a young fighter with only 2 fights, I shouldn't be surprised that he is the way he is because of of where he comes from, his pedigree. I mean, his dad is an awesome trainer. Then he's got Bozy Ennis, who's bringing him up, and he sits there and watch Boots Ennis every day in the gym and works with these guys. So, you're going to, he's a spectacle to see. And he has all the tools.
Joey, talk about there's some fighters on the card, some young kids. You were once that young kid fighting the 4 and 6 rounders, looking up to the veteran Philly fighters. Now you're the guy on top. What's that feeling like for these kids now fighting under a card that you're headlining?
Me coming up, I was always impressed by guys. Like I fought on one of Derek Ennis cards, right, at the Blue Horizon, and like I was just amazed at how everything turned out. You know what I mean? Like how it was, the atmosphere. It was great. So for me to be in that position now, like, it feels good on me because I've been around forever. You know what I mean? And guys like fighting on the undercard, like I'm excited for that too. I'm excited to see the young pros come up and fight. You know what I mean? So like I said, that's a pretty special feeling. You know what I mean? I'm headlining the card, and the young pros from Philadelphia get to fight on the card too. Like it's great.
With the win, you expect another, one of those quote TV type of fights with the win, or do you feel that you have to win impressively to get back in that mix?
Well, me for myself, thinking to myself, I have to win impressively, just because of the spot that I'm in my career. I'm always in a talk for a big fight. I always have a chance to fight a big name, and I never turn a fight down. So, but for me, have a spectacular win and maybe another win get me back in that position to fight on TV and to fight another big fight and get paid good. You know what I mean? So me myself, yes, to win spectacularly, to be in that spot again.
Well, Jeremy Watts, who's watching, thinks that's going to happen. He says you're going to win in less than 4 rounds.
What's that?
Jeremy Watts is picking you less than 4.
Okay. Well, there you go.
So we'll wrap this up in a minute. Rodney, any final words you want to tell the fans out there before we see you on Saturday night?
Hey, make sure you guys, if you don't have your tickets, make sure you tune in to BXNG. The link is in my Instagram and on my Facebook page. It's going to be a dynamite show. These guys, mostly everybody on this card came to win, so I'm looking forward, and God bless.
And I just saw that you're going to have Boots Ennis.
Thank you for that. Yeah, Boots Ennis. We're going to go ahead and he's going to be an analyst on this, one of the commentating analysts on the show, and I'm really excited about that because this kid, he gets to show his knowledge outside the ring now because we talked the other night, and he was saying he was feeling real good about doing it, and I was just like, this is easy for you. Just you're the coach in the corner for the A side and the B side, the blue and the red corner. That's all you're going to talk about, what they should be doing or whatever. And we were just talking about it, but he seems really comfortable in that role. And if you remember last fight, the last fight we had, last show we had, he assisted Steve Cunningham for I think about 2 fights, and it was great. And I got a lot of feedback from that from some lay people who don't really know boxing, who was saying how he was breaking it down really made them understand. So it was like being, I had an idea, so yeah, I'm looking forward to this.
And another thing about having Boots on this broadcast, it's 7 days before his next fight, which is actually a major fight on Showtime.
Talk about that.
Yeah, so it's almost like you'll have almost like a little press conference or get I'm sure they'll touch on it during the broadcast about Boots' next fight coming up a week later on Showtime.
We have the best fighter in the world commentating on RDR and BXNG show. You know what I mean? So, and that's what I consider Boots right now. You know what I mean? I say that with confidence. That kid is just amazing. And for him to be on my show commentating, I'm humble. You know what I mean? So.
And I'm sure he'll say some good words about Joey in there as well.
I already said that, man. Joey goes without saying. this is not about a contest, between Joey and him. Joey's is my main event for a reason. Me and Joey, this didn't just come about. Me and Joey have been chatting about this for how long, Joey?
Like a year.
Yeah. I love Joey. Joey is my favorite heavyweight. And he knows that. Yeah, I tell you he's my favorite heavyweight. I used to write things. No, I'm not. And I'm like, no, because I love a guy that, if you have a guy that's the size of Joey, he's no 6'7", 380-pound guy. He's more, 5'11" to 6 feet, something like that. And
I wish.
pterodactyl arms, but he's still knocking the biggest out, and he's smart in the ring. He has power. He has good feet and size, so that, so my hat's off to Joey. That goes without saying. So there's no comparison there. But, in Boots, I'm talking about a young fighter coming up. Two different areas of their career.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I'll be doing the post-fight interview, so I expect to be talking to Joey right after you get the victory on Saturday night.
Definitely, looking forward to it.
Yeah, you have a big fan here in Jeremy Watts. You says you're full of heart and desire.
Yeah, he has a big fan right here too.
I've been friends with Joey a long time. I know he's full of something. That heart and desire, I don't know, was the first one that came to my mind, but no, just kidding. Joey's, he's one of the top heavyweights out there. And Saturday night, you're going to get another chance to prove it in front of your hometown fans. And it should be a great night at the 2300 Arena in South Philly. Joey, you have any final words to say?
Yeah, I appreciate Rodney for making this happen, you know what I mean? RDR Promotions, Greg Cohen Promotions. Shout out to my sponsors, MCG Construction, Cali Plug, Beck Family Roofing, Inkwell 215, and Guardian Restoration. I appreciate them guys. It's just going to be a good night,
Jerome Conquest said his arms are longer than yours. Is that true?
They are. Probably are. I got short arms.
and he's a lightweight.
Yeah, I got short arms.
There you have it. So then again, last time this Saturday night, the 2300 Arena. If you can't be on the scene, watch on the screen on BXNG, Rodney?
That's right. And shout out to Vantage Point Children and Family Services. And to White Tip Cigars by Pooh Richardson, my sponsors.
It's a great. There's another great name from the past. Pooh Richardson, one of the most outstanding high school players. Ben Franklin High School, that's UCLA, the first round pick, the Minnesota Timberwolves. Et al. Joey and Rodney, we will see you on Saturday night at the 2300 Arena and on BXNG.